Guys, welcome back to Box, the football talk show on Sportology TV. This time around, I've got somebody who I've known for a good couple of years, somebody who started off on the YouTube scene with Cheeky Sport, the co-founder of Cheeky Sport, and now he seems to be pouring himself out to every brand available. He works for the NFL, the Premier League, MUTV. I'm sure he's done stuff for Adidas and everyone else, but someone who's on-screen talent, somebody who's been around the football scene and knows his football, a big Man United fan, none other than David Alorka. Dave, how's it going?
Hey, listen, it's good to be on. It's been a minute. Like, I love what you lot are doing. And you know what I mean? It's funny because I've been hounding Ouney. It's like, it's almost the reverse. I've been like, yo, bro, when you getting me on? When am I getting on? Like, Ali hit me up. You see what I'm saying? A little slide into my DMs, like, yo, what's going on? You want to come on the show? Next thing you know, I was like, Ouney, what's going on here? You're blocking me from coming in. So I'm glad to have finally made it.
Dave, it's a pleasure to have you on. We were supposed to be getting you on. It was just, I think, schedules were so. I think you've been a busy man. You're busier than both of us. So we've got to fit around you, man. How's life treating you at the moment?
No, life's going well. You know, obviously, like, there was an initial slowdown where there was no sport for quite a significant period. But now that things are now back up and running, because I'm across so many different sports, like you said, football, NFL, F1, rugby, tennis, whatever it is. Now everything's starting to pick up massively within that space. So it's good. It's good to be back in the thick of it. It's good that things are now kick-starting again. Premier League season's underway again. So it's like, it's good. It's good. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling.
Dave, I want to talk about a bit of the mazza that happened this weekend at Anfield. 4-3, Liverpool, Leeds. Let's talk about a bit of football. First of all, it's good to have you back. It's good to have competitive football back. I know it's only been 7 weeks since the end of the last season. But I'm sure you watched that match. What did you make of that? That was a bit of a crazy thing, that game.
Listen, as a Man United fan, that's like the match that I hate the most.
Yeah.
I hate both teams. You know what I'm saying? I'm predisposed to hating both of those clubs. But that game kind of showed that Leeds are not here to mess about. They're not here to make up the numbers. You know what I mean? Like, we saw Leeds in the Championship, not just last season, but over the last couple of seasons with Bielsa at the helm. They have been absolutely incredible. Like, their manager is something else. Players play for him, like, on a different level. And so it wasn't a major surprise to me, but the degree of confidence that they have. Listen, they could have taken that game. They could have absolutely taken that game. And it wasn't simply because Liverpool didn't play well. It was literally because Leeds were actually on smoke. Leeds are out here. They're on stuff this year. They ain't playing no games.
100%. Obviously, other fixtures. So I just want to talk about Everton. They made some good signings, to be honest. Let's put it straight. James Rodriguez, a signing that a world-class player, somebody who got a Player of the Year after that World Cup, and now it seems like he hasn't found his feet at Bayern Munich. You know, he's been around here and there, but now he's at Everton. We saw the impact that he made against Tottenham. What did you make of his performance?
Listen, James Rodriguez is a bad man. I remember I was in Chicago during that 2014 World Cup there, and I remember sitting in a bar watching these men just smack man up game after game and thinking, this brother is a bad man. He's going to light up something. And obviously he ended up over there in Spain, but didn't quite work out. It didn't. And it's hard in that space because there's so many superstars from that degree to shine. But he always had that pedigree. He always had that within him. And although it's only been one game in, because some people are going to be like, yeah, but David, listen, it's just one game. Let's not get too excited. Listen. When you see quality, you see quality. You see what I'm saying? When your eyes can see it, it's like, listen, I don't even need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. It's there. And I'm glad, number one, that it's still there. But two, listen, Carlo Ancelotti ain't a joke, man. People keep forgetting that we have one of the best managers in world football managing Everton. Look, think about that. Like, Carlo Ancelotti is a bad man manager, period. So when you've got somebody like him that has the allure and the draw to draw in these big names, like Rodriguez and the like, listen, same thing. I don't think Everton are out here this season on a joke thing. I think Everton could be pushing you know what I mean, squeezing that top four gap is going to be a tight one this season. I think it's going to be a tight, complete top six this season. Honestly, I think it'll be tighter than it's been. Period. Like, I don't think Liverpool have got the strength to run away with it this season, because it takes something else to do back to back, especially after not winning it for so long. So I think that area there is going to be very, very, very competitive, if I'm honest with you.
United had a pre-season friendly with Villa this weekend. They didn't win. Obviously, only pre-season friendly. It doesn't really mean anything to the season. But is it not a good indication? Obviously, their season is about to kick off.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I knew this one was coming still. Listen, the funny thing is, the funny thing is, it's always funny when it comes to pre-season. When you smack up all your pre-season games, it's like, team is looking right, we're ready for the season. When you end up losing a couple of preseason games, everyone's like, nah. It's not about the scoreline, it's about the minutes. The players need minutes to be match ready, innit? That's all it is, minutes in the bank. And the funny thing is, like, fans say that so much. Like, it was funny seeing Ole say it the other day as well. Like, after the game, I was cracking up. But come on, like, in all honesty, it's not a highly competitive and contentious fixture. There weren't tackles flying in left, right, and centre. Nobody had any skin in the game. It was more of a fitness game, and a game to try stuff out, to see how players can work in different pockets and try out different things. And to be honest, that's our one preseason game that we've had, to be honest with you. So I think it doesn't show a great indication surrounding how we're going to play this season. Like, it wasn't a full strength side. It was an odd one. To that effect. But it was good seeing the boys out. It was good seeing the boys out in the highly contentious third kit that everyone, you know what I mean, some people on the fence about. Do they like it? Do they not like it? What's going on over here? It was good to see them. You know what I mean? It's good to see them out. I'm looking forward to Saturday where it all kicks off.
Well, what do you make of that third kit?
The kit's bad. It's a bad man kit still. Listen, I'll say something right now. Look, the truth is, when I first saw the kit, I was thinking, this thing is butters. I can't even lie. So I weren't even really interested. I weren't even like looking at the kit too tough. Yeah. Then obviously when David Beckham rocked it, I was like, you know what? It's a certified cop still. Because when I saw the first pictures, it was with the stripy shorts and that as well, and then stripy socks. It was like, this is not gonna. I don't know what's going on over here. You know what I mean? Man are running around the pitch looking like a zebra crossing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, just ready for the headlines of like Man United get walked all over in their zebra crossing shirt. Like that, the headline writes itself. But listen, the kit is actually hot. Listen, I've got a couple pictures for them, Instagram this weekend. Woo! Don't worry. Listen, I'm telling you, the kit's fire. And it was good to see the boys play out with it in black shorts, black socks as well. That's how it's got to be rocked. You know what I mean? It's a fashion statement. You know what I mean?
Dave, like me, Dave, being a United fan can be painful in the transfer window. And this year's just been the same. Last year, it was Harry Maguire, and that sort of ordeal dragged out throughout the whole transfer window, and eventually we paid the 80 million that they asked for. This year, different player, same situation. Jadon Sancho. Borussia Dortmund won 120 million euros. United are holding out. What do you make of this whole situation, man?
Oh man, this one is so techie, it's ridiculous. This one's a super tough one, because you're right. Man United have done this on season. So not even just last season. Like, we've done this since at least 2014, or even since the Glazers have been in. We've been very, very slow in the transfer market. We don't get business done early at all. Only business that we got super done early was Luke Shaw back in, 2014. That was the only early business that we got done. Besides that, we're kind of, you know what I mean? We're very, very, very tumultuous when it comes to our activity in the market. But I think Man United will get the deal done. I think we're looking at so many different factors surrounding that. We saw the situation that happened with Paul Pogba breaking the record fee and so on and so forth, and the pressure that brought onto the club. I think Man United don't want that price tag simply because of what they know it's gonna bear upon the shoulders of Jadon Sancho from that regard. So some of that is part of the reason. Obviously, another part of the reason is the fact that they got him for like 7 million or something like that, or 700k like 2 seasons ago. So Man United are like, hold on, what's going on over here? This is a bit wild. And at the same time, nobody else is actually going in for him. And because nobody else is actually going in for him, it's like we're not bidding against anybody. So, you know, negotiating tactics, you know, requires you to be able to move. This I'm saying on that basis. So it's a tough one. And funnily enough, I was with his agent on Saturday night, you know, a house party. You know what I mean? Words were said. You know what I mean? Certain things that, you know what I mean? The minutes that no non-disclosure over a couple of, you know what I mean? A couple of drinks, but you know what I mean? You know, it's likely. That's what I'd say.
Okay, sounds good. If not, there's another name that's been linked today, Garth Bale. Somebody's been linked to United for the last couple of seasons. Would you take him? Even at his age, yeah, you would.
I'll take him. Yeah, I'll take him straight. I'll take him on loan straight away, immediate. As long as Real Madrid are willing to pay some of that cash, Real Madrid need to get him out of there. To be honest with you, because what's going on over there is just mental. To be honest with you, but I would take him on a loan for a season. If Man United decide they're not going to get Jadon Sancho this season and they're going to wait for another season, Bale is definitely the answer for me still. I'll take him on loan with an option to buy. Likely not buy him at all, but I'll take him on loan for the season and loan him that number 7 shirt for the season. He can rock that for, do you know what I mean, a year and keep it warm.
I don't know if you've heard, but Tim Sherwood said that he doesn't actually think United, it's a bit controversial, doesn't think United actually need Sancho at all. So he said they will do better with the likes of Grealish or Bale coming in. Do you think that a lot of people are kicking up a fuss about it, saying, you know, no, Sancho's like the one they should be going for? What do you think about those sorts of comments that actually United don't need Sancho?
Grealish is going for about 80 M's right now, and that's just wild money for me for Jack Grealish. Like, I would have liked to have Jack Grealish. He's like people call him a throwback best because he wears his because he wears his socks down, and you know what I mean. But he's a baller. He is a baller. We're not gonna make no mince about that. But listen, Jadon Sancho is an incredibly exciting player who plays without fear, who can light up the Premier League in ways in which we haven't seen for a minute and a half. So that's one of the reasons as to why Manchester United should be looking into him. On top of that, he's young, he's 20 years old. I do understand the reason as to why, because he is 20, but then Mason Greenwood is also 18, is bringing in a 20-year-old. Then you've got an 18-year-old that playing in a similar position. Is that going to stifle Mason Greenwood? It's got potential too, but at the same time, Mason Greenwood's position isn't even on that side. Mason Greenwood's actual real position is centre forward. So he's already got Anthony Martial holding down that position. So yes, it does make sense. Man United do have to look at other areas like the defence. For me, that's the most important area right now for me. I think Man United have bought in Van der Beek, so they don't need the likes of somebody like a Jack Grealish at this present moment in time. That's my take. I think number one priority is sorting out some serious defensive areas. But listen, Jadon Sancho becomes available, a player of that quality, that player that age, that talent. Listen, Man United need to be in for my man. Somebody needs to wear that number 7 shirt. I see 2 7s behind Ouney right there, and nobody has been able to, you know what I mean, has had the shoulders to bear the weight of the number 7 shirt since Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo. 100%. And it's got to be.
Only thing I'll say on the match is, watching United towards the end of the season, Dave, we saw that Ollie didn't trust a lot of the players off the bench. We were playing the same team in, team out, week in, week out, and it just seemed like Ollie didn't trust the guys on the bench. It seemed like we had a lot of tired legs. Bruno was just getting tired. He was very leggy for the last maybe 4 or 5 games. So bringing in these sort of players will only add to the squad depth anyway. Putting Mason Greenwood on the bench and maybe playing him in and out would only help our team. But talking about bowlers, there's a certain bowler at Bayern Munich that United are linked to, Thiago Alcantara. Liverpool were the one that's supposed to get him, but they're not paying up that 30 million for whatever reason that is. I want him at United. I think he's one of the best midfielders in the world. Dave, what's your take on it all?
Listen, American owners, they don't want to free up the funds. That's how it goes. These men are businessmen. Like, they don't want to free up the funds. Similar to the Glazers with Liverpool in that same respect. It's not the pricing is not even too crazy to be frank with you, but it's a monetary situation. I think his main focus is on going to Liverpool, obviously because they were the champions, and I mean they're in an ascendancy. But I would absolutely love him at Manchester. Listen, like you said, strength and depth is what is very important. Is what you need to challenge on several fronts. Like you said, Man United were beating the life out of the same 11, and the truth of the matter is, I don't blame them. I don't blame Ole for that, because when he made changes, it was a calamity. Like when we played Chelsea in that FA Cup semi-final, what a mess! Do you know what I'm saying? What a mess! And even when he brought the players back on, they couldn't get back. They couldn't get back to fluidity. So you need strength and depth. So yes, I'll be all over getting Thiago. But listen, you're talking to me, a Man United fan, yeah? It's like sending me to the sweet shop right now. Of course, I want all the sweets. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, there's only a few that we're going to end up getting. For me, priority number one would be Mr. Jadon Sancho. I think 100%.
Okay, go on, Ali.
What for this season now? I mean, try to be unbiased by who you support. Who do you think is going to be the top four?
Oh, top four this season. Top four this season. Top four this season is going to be a combination of, I can't even tell you. I'm trying to think about who exactly is going to be in what position, but it's going to be a combination of City, Liverpool, United, Chelsea. I think it's running the same thing. I think the same thing is going again. I think it's going to rejumble and it might reshuffle in one way or another. I think I'm going to see, based on Chelsea, because Chelsea play today, I'm going to see what Chelsea are really saying, because they've gone in this window, and the expectation on their shoulders is going to be super, super high. At the same time, Pep Guardiola, he needs to be about something this season as well. So I think we're going to get those four. What order is left to be said. Without seeing everybody play at least a couple games, it's so difficult to like nail it in and say, okay, yeah, I'm going for this. But if you're going to ask me, I'll go for those four. I think the people that are going to be knocking on the door heavily I think Arsenal are going to be pretty good this season, to be honest with you. Yeah. Like, I'm usually brushing Arsenal all day, every day. I'm cussing them all day, every day. But I think they're actually going to be really good. I think Arteta has been given the time to put in his ideals into his players and stuff like that. And I think we'll see a better Arsenal this year. I think Leicester are going to be thereabouts. I think Everton are going to be knocking on that door. And I think Leeds are going to finish in the top half of the season, top half of the table.
Dave, talking about Chelsea, they've been on a bit of a muzzer. It's like somebody picked up the PS4 pad, is playing FIFA at the moment. You know, FIFA career mode or Football Manager. They just seem to be having a crazy transfer window. Every time I go onto Twitter and look at Fabrizio Romano, there's a new player links, a new here we go. So talk to me about the transfer window. What do you make of it?
Listen, Frank Lampard's putting some heavy weights into his backpack and he's going running. All right? Because really and truly, the pressure that he's putting upon his shoulders this season because of the amount of money that he spent. Look, Chelsea literally just broke the world transfer record about 2 seasons ago with Kepa Arrizabalaga. Now they're off to buy another goalkeeper. How much money is that spent on a goalkeeper in such a short space of time? And I know my Chelsea fans out there, my friends who are Chelsea fans, they'll be out here, they'll be saying all sorts of different stuff. But I would say this. I'd say, look, we've even had a transfer ban, we ain't spent money. So if you accrue that amount we spent just now over the period of time we've been banned, then we've kind of equaled out to everyone else. Yeah, but nah, not really. All right? Because really, Julie, they've got to be challenging. If they ain't challenging, if it comes December and they ain't there, they're not challenging, they're not like first, second, they're not like 5 points off it, 6 points off it, then to be honest with you, yeah, I mean, Frank has put himself in a position where, the axe might come. Like, he's got to be about this life right now. Like, this season, he's got to be about it, or the axe might weigh heavy on him from Mr. Abramovich. Because we all know Abramovich don't play no games. Don't matter what you do, don't matter what you've done for the club. Yeah, I mean, he's about winning. When he puts his hands in his pocket, it means you got to bring out the goods. And when I'm talking about goods, I mean silverware. And I ain't talking about no Carabao, no FA Cup thing. Man wants a Champions League or a Premier League. Do you know what I mean? That's how real it is.
David, before we finish, you've been in football for a long time. You know, you've been to work for various different places, been to different matches. But we want to know, who is the greatest player you've ever seen play live? You've just watched them and thought, wow, the best of all time.
Yeah, that's a bit of a mad one still. The greatest player I've ever seen live would have to be Cristiano Ronaldo. I've been blessed to see him play at Old Trafford, and blessed to see him play over there in Real Madrid. Just an incredible specimen of a human being, period. And it's not just, people are going to ask, well, David, why are you saying that because you haven't seen Messi play? I have seen Messi play live, and that's why it was a tough one to say, to be honest with you. But it's the impact that his presence has on his team, and the impact that his presence has on the field, on the opposition's team. Seeing that and feeling that is so difficult to try to put into words unless you've been there and you've seen it and you felt it. He's an incredible individual, a bad man player, and somebody who just has the mentality. Like, you can feel his mentality whilst you're there in the stadium. He's got such an incredible mentality as a human being to reach the heights that he's reached, and it's not even the end for him. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's got to be Cristiano Ronaldo, cool. Hands down.
Dave, it's been a pleasure having you on, man. Appreciate everything you do, and hopefully, when the season kicks off fully, you know, the game's on the way. When United are first by about 20 points, I'll give you another shout.
Yes.
I'll give you another shout. Dave Alorka, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Dave. Great to be joined by David Alorka there, talking everything football. Very passionate. But make sure you stay tuned. We have a lot more coming up, a lot more great guests. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell button so you know when we've got new videos out, leave some comments, and we'll see you all soon.